Fifth Street. They're just continuing to congregate on Broadway. Some in the street, some on the sidewalk. I mean, this is a people's takeover. Again, I see no LMPD presence. I see no National Guard presence, at least not at the street level. But there seems to be some sort of congregation now. So again, now it seems like we're having a bit of a split here. Some people are going up Fifth Street, back to downtown, while others are sort of drifting up Broadway.
Looks like a lot of backtracking, though.
Yeah. More than likely, probably heading back to either the mayor's office or the courthouse, City Hall. The message hasn't diluted. I mean, as tired as these folks might be, they're just as loud downtown as they were 25 blocks or so up in the West End. And again, this situation these protests have grown in the past 3 or 4 days. There haven't been diminishing returns. The real question is on Fifth Street. You agreeing with me? That's good. You should. I know what I'm talking about. No, they're not going up Fifth Street. They're just continuing to congregate on Broadway. Some in the street, some on the sidewalk. I mean, this is a people's takeover. Again, I see no LMPD presence. I see no National Guard presence, at least not at the street level. But there seems to be some sort of congregation now. So again, now it seems like we're having a bit of a split here. Some people are going up Fifth Street, back to downtown, while others are sort of drifting up Broadway.
Looks like a lot of backtracking, though.
Yeah. More than likely, probably heading back to either the mayor's office or the courthouse, City Hall. message hasn't diluted. I mean, as tired as these folks might be, they're just as loud downtown as they were 25 blocks or so up in the West End. And again, this situation these protests have grown in the past 3 or 4 days. There haven't been diminishing returns. The real question is, will they continue to grow? Particularly as there have been no charges against anyone in either of these shootings at this point. And particularly as there are reports now that the Breonna Taylor case may last another 2 to 3 months, which I believe the governor scolded that at his press briefing today. Multiple helicopters and multiple drones too in the air. Unsure if those are friendly to these protesters or not. Most of them assume that it's some form of surveillance by the police department, but no way to tell from down here. Now going back into the heart of downtown again. Their flow, their movement by police or National Guard. None. Good shot. There you go. So it looks like, you know, where I said we're headed back downtown. We're in the heart of downtown, pretty much approaching it. If this will be to get back to Jefferson Street, in front of the mayor's office, the courthouse, in front of that area. There was talk of going to Mayor Fisher's house directly. That's a little bit further up the road. That might be for another day.
I can't breathe. 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 Black lives matter.
see police helicopters shining their light down here.
Somebody to come up here and tell us how that made y'all feel, what y'all trying to accomplish, whatever.
Hands up! Don't shoot!
Sit down. Well, we gotta stand firm. Yo. I feel the hands up, don't shoot. I get it. But that's surrender. They gonna shoot you with your hands up or not, bro. I seen them shoot people with their hands up on their knees and shot a girl in the face. I carried her in tear gas. Don't put your hands up, bro. We can do that check, but don't put your hands up. If you're gonna put anything up, put a fist up. A fist is firm. I ain't never seen nobody whoop nobody like this in my life. I ain't never seen nobody win like this. You know what I'm saying? Like they say, Trump just signed the Insurrection Act. It's real. Stay out here. Protest. I love y'all. But if you're going home, get there. That's all I gotta say. Come on. Hey. Everybody, y'all heard what they said. Of course, it's your choice. If you stay and be safe, if you go home, be safe. Hey, everybody get on social media and tell them to block off that road right there. Tell them to block it off so people can leave it here safe. Y'all can be safe. Watch 7th Street. Scattered confrontations between police and people downtown last night, in which some businesses, a few, were damaged.
Alright, this is Alvin Strubb with the Courier-Journal, kind of standing in for reporter Phyllis Bailey for a moment. You heard some of the event organizers there talking to the crowd, trying to direct them on what to do next.
People are ducking because of a dragonfly. There's nothing flying, just a dragonfly. Shit, it's going that way. take you through the crowd here a little bit. We've been static for a while. It's a slower protest than last night. It is quieter. It is, one would say mellow would be maybe the word. It's a mellow protest. Trip and Ariel Cobber. We're now moving. They're photographers for the Daily Memphian and Commercial Appeal, respectively. Say hi to Facebook Live. We're marching north now on front. You can see the Greater Memphis Chamber logo there outside their headquarters. This is a place where business, economic development deals are announced. Represents the economic power in this city. And we just heard multiple messages about the stark economic differences between black Memphians and white Memphians. I think that's a Ken Griffey Jr. jersey in the crowd. Did they shut it down? Significant police presence still on the Hernando de Soto Bridge. The traffic is still moving. You can see it. Slower pace than last night. Tennessee Highway Patrol presence. They've been there for more than an hour. I was actually walking on that bridge not much long ago, looking for the planned slow-down protest. But traffic is moving on that bridge. It's one of the busiest sections of road in Tennessee. It's a main commercial thoroughfare for a city that is really built on the distribution industry. Still marching north now on front. We just passed the intersection of Front Street and Jefferson. Freeway Patrol. The officer with a nightstick. March is continuing here. Some of the crowd objected to the nightstick you saw. I can see ahead of me here, we're walking north on Front Street. This is Memphis City Hall. So we're about an hour away from curfew, which Memphis Mayor Jim Strickland issued today. Hour and a half away. The 7th floor, that top floor, is where leading city officials have their offices. You can see a heavy police presence at the corner of Hunt and Poplar. Here atop the Front Street garage there. There's a heavy police presence with shields down the end of the street. If you can see them, you can see those figures. What the hell is addressing the crowd? Gear, bearing billy clubs and nightsticks. So last night, at the end of the night, police officers in riot shields and with nightsticks cleared the streets. It was about 1 a.m. this morning. Stopped. See Memphis City Hall. This is Front Street between Adams Avenue and Poplar Avenue. We see people locking arms. I'm going to take you a little closer. Section demonstrators down interacting with the police. through the garage there. Those flashing lights are Tennessee Highway Patrol on the Hernando de Soto Bridge. There's traffic still moving on the Hernando de Soto Bridge heading eastbound.
It was unacceptable, and it won't be tolerated. We are gathering peacefully, executing our constitutional rights, and we are there with the criminals. That was not tolerated. And we're standing with them. Somebody say,
They say stuff to us. There's a lot of things that they do. It's not just us. Just to let y'all know that. It's not just us.
Yeah, I know what happened last night. Obviously, it was really sad with Mr. McAtee and, at his barbecue restaurant. And, but tonight with them, this feeling a little bit more celebration almost, not having the opposition out.
Exactly. And a lot of people didn't know that he gave a lot of his dinners to police officers. He was known for that. So they just killed a friend, a black friend. Just crazy. Don't bite the hand that feeds you. Don't bite the hand that feeds you. I'm telling you, it's a good person.
Well, thank you all so much. Have a good night. Just hearing from some protesters here in downtown Louisville, Jefferson Square. How are you? Yeah, right. How you been, man? Doing good, buddy. How are you?
you're live.
Yeah, I am.
They're talking about this is about Breonna Taylor. This is about all these other folks that this stuff's going on in these different parts of the country and all over the world. But it's not about these individuals. There's these individuals happening all over the country. And they talk about this one case, these two cases. It's not about these cases. It's about not being able to go to the basketball court without being put on our faces, searched. It's about not being able to sit on our mama's porch without having the police show up. It's about not being able to drive through parts of town without getting pulled over just because of the way we look. I got pulled over and searched 14 times before I got my first ticket, and I got my first ticket the first year I was driving. That is the problem. We just want to be left alone. Leave us alone like you do the white folks up here in the Highlands. Treat us on the basketball court like you treat them folks up there on the tennis court. That's what we want. We want y'all to leave us alone like you leave the rich folks alone. They can commit any crime they want, any day of the week, and pay a little bit of money, and nothing happens to them. And then us, if we can't afford bail, we lose our job, we lose our house, we lose our car, everything, because we can't get out of jail with $500 where they can pay $1 million and go home. That's what it's about. We want to be equal. We want to be treated like the rich people are treated. There's all these cases. There's hundreds of them. And they're trying to say one name all over the country. Trying to say one name, one name. It's not one name. There's thousands and thousands of cases. And that's what we're here about. It's the whole thing.
Thank you for your time. Alton Strubb with the Courier-Journal. Heard from a gentleman there. This is downtown on Jefferson Square. Protesters are out. We are well past curfew time now, but yet there has been no presence of law enforcement, and things seem to have a different vibe tonight. It is a lot more peaceful, celebratory, despite last night's tragedy, shooting at 26th and Broadway. We have been live now for about an hour and a half. Unfortunately, our batteries on this camera are getting low, and we are going to have to swap those out, but we will be right back with you in just a few moments. Thank you. Tune in.
kids out here. Now, the guard is in Memphis at the request of Mayor Strickland. They were here last night too. Lee, listen to Devontae Hill. That thumping is, again, police horses inside of a trailer.
We're not going that way. We're not going that way. So my request is for half of you guys to fall to a place to where our children and our wives and our daughters are not seeing you guys in an intimidating way. That's our request. Because right there is the way you're standing is scared.
We're again discussing and we're asking members of law enforcement and the Tennessee National Guard to back away from the protest. One Tennessee trooper just put down his nightstick.
You guys, come on. We're not here to stand in their face. We're not here to stand in their face. Let's go. We don't even want to talk to them right now unless they're putting their shields away. They're scaring our children.
Now the group is approaching. It's a weapon visible there.
You know, officers, it's okay. Here's the deal. Officers, y'all just make yourselves feel bad. Y'all make yourself feel bad. And so listen, you guys have all the senses from all the it's your hell you as a black man if you don't speak up. You don't speak up when it's up to your wife. You don't say a word. You worry about your job. That's not easy to do, black man. If a white man turning down, we stay there and be quiet.
Another group is turning away. Larger body is walking away. Speaking of National Guard and police, though more are coming, seem to have more coming out here. People are walking away from them as a heavier presence comes out of what is Civic Center Plaza here. So I'm walking along the grass. Doesn't seem that many people are left there. Sorry about that, y'all. I was just going to have a bit of a traffic jam, and so I wanted to let people through. So if you see white in these bottles here, that was last night there was tear gas, and so when someone gets tear gassed, you pour that in their eye. It does not seem likely that we're going to have a similar situation tonight. Right now it is about 8:53. An hour and 7 left before the 10 p.m. curfew. Here we are in downtown Memphis. We are at the corner of Poplar Avenue and 2nd Street. I'm Sam Hardman with the Commercial Appeal.
Everyone has pretty much stayed put in Jefferson Square. There was a bit of a conversation going on about President Trump evoking the Insurrection Act, an 1807 act that allows the president to use military force to quash rebellions. However, if you've been paying attention to local or national news and you've read a history book, there are some legal ramifications for that and some legal barriers apparently for the president to do that. That hasn't stopped, however, some from being overly concerned about the National Guard returning or police returning. Again, we are sitting somewhere about an hour after the curfew. Many people, young people in particular, riding on top of cars, blocking traffic, going down the wrong way on traffic, basically occupying Jefferson Square. And again, the question is, how long will police How long will National Guard allow this to go on? Is this an effort by Louisville's leadership to allow some steam to get out? Or, as we see here, there doesn't seem to be anybody moving or going anywhere. Will these folks just continue to linger? I hate to use a cliche here, but since we're doing TV, we can do it. Only time will tell. But I certainly get the impression here that these folks don't intend to move. They don't intend to go anywhere. I know my colleague Sarah Ladd is still down at 25th and Broadway, 26th and Broadway in the Russell neighborhood. We'll see if there's any effort to move folks from that location. But for right now, we are stationary here until further notice. The chants continue. The occupation of Jefferson Square continues. And remember, it was just a few days ago where we saw Louisville police tear up and empty out supplies that were left out for activists. We see supplies everywhere along here. Clearly, this is a different tact, but I notice more and more the buzzing of these military-grade helicopters. So again, the question is, how long is this going to last? Around an added tension now to the crowd that has changed quite dramatically. So again, we're past curfew, and now you certainly see an anticipation by protesters here, and you definitely see a contingency coming up here, appearing to block off parts of Jefferson Street. Here's SWAT coming up Jefferson Street, coming eastbound on Jefferson Street. Let me go get my stuff real quick. Let's run back over here.
Struck with the Courier-Journal here. We've got a plethora of state police walking up. Looks like maybe 75, I can't tell. Looks like they're gonna build a wall right there across the street, trying to kind of box the protesters in. I'm gonna pass it back to Philip Bailey.
Yeah, I mean, a significant amount of SWAT now assembled at what is 7th and Jefferson, pretty much standing in place. Now you see protesters behind us here standing firm as well. And now it seems like the SWAT is definitely mobilizing, blocking the entire street. Again, they appear to be coming moving eastbound. Now the street lights have gone out. I don't know if that was done on purpose. I don't know if that was done on purpose or not. But now the street lights are completely out where the SWAT team is assembled. And there doesn't seem to be at least firm, organized effort on the protest side here. There are certainly those who seem to be standing firm in the face of the SWAT. But there are others who are scattering.
I haven't seen that before.
Yeah, I don't know if that was by accident or not, but it's quite strategic. I mean, it's only that one section. It's only that one section where the SWAT team is, and now they're on the sidewalk. They definitely seem to be mobilizing at this point. It doesn't look like that there's a firm line of protesters like it was in previous incarnations of this protest, despite having a more sizable crowd. Oh, it
feels like that's changing right now.
That literally is changing as we're speaking. There's an arm of folks who are arm in arm, and now the protesters seem to be, they're approaching the SWAT team. There's always that carrier pigeon who's sort of out in the front here. But this is certainly the front lines of this. A lot of people yelling in the back behind us that it was a peaceful protest. Why are you doing this? Again, I believe that we still do have a curfew in place. It's 10 o'clock. All right, I think we're about to have some gas deployed here in a second.
Yeah. Seeing the gas mask get put on.
So we're going to put on ours as well. So excuse us while we set up, put on our own masks.
Looks like I hear them talking down there.
Excuse me if I sound a little muffled. Again,
see here if, I can't exactly hear what the SWAT team is announcing, but they are mounted with their shields. The protesters who were advancing have pretty much stopped where they are. And again, I can't really hear myself what the SWAT team is saying on their loudspeaker. But they are definitely putting on their gas masks. So we're in standoff mode at this point. There still seem to be more protesters than SWAT, but I don't know if that matters at this point. The SWAT team are the ones with the weapons, at least the ones that we can see. The other side, we're not sure if they have any weapons or not. I've seen some baseball bats, some firearms from earlier, but not recently. Have their umbrellas out just in case. I'd say there are about still a good healthy 300, maybe 400 demonstrators out here. It's hard to tell how many SWAT team there are, but I would say that there are at least 80 of them. In addition to, all right, so that's the flashbang. That's the flashbang. That's the flashbang. That's the flashbang. So again, this is Philip Bailey, political writer here at the Courier-Journal. Loud flashbang there. We're here at 6th. We're here at 6th and Jefferson. Flashbangs have been. Now the SWAT team is advancing. I'm hearing multiple shots now. Could be rubber bullets, flashbangs, rubber bullets. The SWAT team is certainly advancing. So they're moving along quite methodically. Quite methodically, they're moving along here. And again, more flashbangs being deployed. Again, we're here at 6th and Jefferson. Much of the crowd is now beginning to dissipate, but there still is a strong group that is standing at the same line with the approaching SWAT. Some people are throwing water bottles. I've seen 1 or 2 people throwing water bottles, but they're beginning to recess. Another flashbang. More flashbangs going off. That might be tear gas there. That's definitely tear gas. All right. That's definitely tear gas. So I'd suggest people cover their eyes. There's efforts to try to see demonstrators trying to extinguish the tear gas canisters, but they're still being deployed. Still being deployed pretty consecutively. And now that is definitely rubber pellets being deployed, being shot here. So we're gonna keep our our press credentials prominent, but we have seen as of late National Guard, police, etc. use some of this force against the media. Now this is a heavy dose of tear gas. A heavy dose of tear gas coming through. Like a fog, like an invading fog. Yep, we definitely are. I mean, that stuff stings. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. Woo! Woo, baby. That's better than a shot of bourbon, I'll tell you that. Woo! Woo! Yeah. So that was again, King Louis. King Louis here has been defaced. Definitely doused in orange. Right here. Woo! Ooh! Ooh! Man, that burns. Ooh, we're gonna have to get out of here. Woo! Well, if the goal was to disperse the crowd, that has certainly worked. Still firing. Tear gas, which is a chemical weapon. Stay with you as long as we possibly can here. That has wiped out this crowd significantly. They are Bailey here, political writer at the Courier Journal with Alton Strump, cameraman extraordinaire. And the few times that we've had National Guard deployed in our city, this is one of them. And tear gas is certainly an effective way of, walking through another wave of that. That was the goal, it worked. Why do you think that they,
I think it was because of the other rioters. They just assumed they put us all together as one. We're not. There are people out there doing things that they shouldn't be doing, but me, I'm here, and everybody I've talked to is here for a peaceful protest to make a change. So we.
And your name and your title?
My name is Marissa. I'm a musician. So, and this is my fiance Abe. He is a mixed race, so it's something that holds dear to us. No. If they would have just
Water
said
bottles?
stand back.
People with water bottles? Why?
Yeah.
But you know what? I'll be back.
Every day.
My dad grew up in the United States in the 1960s, being a Puerto Rican, moving to the United States. He went through all this shit.
Do you think that the protests will continue to grow?
Absolutely.
I think more people will start to see, but the only thing they show on the TVs is them tear gassing us or one graffitied place. That's not what was happening here today. I marched all the way to 26th and back because that's what I believe is what we should be doing.
What do you think should happen with the Breonna Taylor shooting and now Mr. Dave McAfee? What should happen?
They should be prosecuted, the ones responsible, all the way up. Everybody.
Taylor's boyfriend should be released.
Charges against him have been dismissed. They have been dismissed.
We haven't been here, so we didn't know.
I've got a dead phone. It's in the car like 2 blocks away.
Kenneth Walker, sir. They've been dismissed.
I'm in the middle of the crowd.
So you all believe that these protests will grow and continue?
Yes, I think in smaller cities now. I think maybe in the town I grew up in where there was only a few African American men. I see people growing up though, and they're going to get angry. They're going to have friends. We all have friends. All races are waking up and saying enough is enough.
What do you say to those who are concerned? There is a contingency out there in this community who are concerned about looting and violence against property. What do you say to them when they say, look, this has gone too far, we saw the smashed up windows downtown? What do you say to those folks?
I say that I don't actually see that happening down here very often. I see more police in the media controlling it and putting it. That's not what's happening.
Don't punish the deeds of many for the mistakes of few. The people that have done that should actually be called out between the people in the protest also.
I did see a lot of individuals, when folks were trying to vandalize, stop them. So you even though you've been tear gassed, is this your first time being tear gassed?
Yes, actually.
So even though you've been tear gassed, you intend to come back out?
Absolutely.
Always. Till something changes. No peace, no justice.
Thank you very much, you all.
Thank you
very much. Well, again, I think here at 6th and Jefferson, tear gas is not fun. I'll tell you that. I mean, I don't care how much pepper you like on your steak. You don't want that. But it goes away. And as these folks are saying, they will continue to be out here. We saw the largest protest today of any of the protests. And there still are questions about the Breonna Taylor shooting, about Mr. Dave McAtee's shooting that have not been answered. Why were police using a no-knock warrant against Breonna Taylor when they were looking for mail? Why were the National Guard and others at 26th and Broadway yesterday? A lot of questions need to be answered. A lot of demands are still out there, both on the mayor and even the governor. But clearly there was a little more lax, at least in the beginning. But tonight ended very much in the same way the other nights ended, which is there was eventually a tired attitude from the police and National Guard, and they decided to deploy tear gas and other tactics to disperse the crowd. I did not see any acts of violence or destruction of property, but they were here beyond the curfew. As you see, there still are SWAT lined up, pushing people out. You have they're now shooting rubber bullets. They're now shooting rubber bullets. So again, shooting rubber bullets indiscriminately, not necessarily choosing between activists and the press. But that fits in line with what we've seen these past few days. we, not necessarily sure what specific act engendered or created the response from SWAT, but certainly something occurred, or maybe it was just a violation of the curfew. So we shall see what happens next. But I think the SWAT certainly did an effective job of dispersing the crowd. But again, the crowd was occupying Jefferson Square. Certainly was occupying Jefferson Square, but there wasn't necessarily any vandalism or destruction that we had seen. But that doesn't mean that there wasn't any. But again, the largest protest you certainly have seen of the 4 nights that protests have occurred. We're now at 5th and Liberty, so about a block up, a block over. More canisters seem to be flying now. And you still have a smattering group of activists and protesters out here. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, they're shooting from the roof. Okay, let's move. Okay, so they're deploying chemical weapons and shooting from the rooftops of Metro Safe. Whatever they can do at this point to disperse the crowd. Whatever they can do to disperse the crowd. That canister of pepper spray, of tear gas, hit that one guy right on the shoulder, right upside the head. While these folks might be making a valiant effort, maybe a losing battle at this point. But as we heard, there are people who have endured. I got a man on crutches out here. That's how dedicated some people are. Man can't even walk fully out here. Another canister. And again, people who have been pepper sprayed and hit with rubber bullets today, telling us at the Courier-Journal that they intend to return. So if this is going to continue, the question is, where does the valve let out? What are the necessary steps that could quell some of this? And if you talk to the people out here on the streets, they'll make it pretty clear. The firing, the charging, and the arrest of these officers, the questions about the body cam footage or lack thereof, those questions don't go away with the deployment of tear gas tonight. In fact, one would argue that maybe those questions are even enhanced. Because now there seems to be almost both sides sort of increasing the other. Because we've seen over these past 4 days the crowd size increasing, not decreasing. The tactics by police of deploying tear gas and curfews, pepper spray, flashbangs has not decreased their energy. If anything, it's increased.
Brutality has again splinters.
It's like SWAT police stop advancing.
Later in the evening.
I think it's about less now than maybe.
if activists up their game. You know, there was an attempt to use leaf blowers, which you saw used in Hong Kong protests. It's China to push back any tear gas. I saw some folks here with umbrellas today. Certainly they mastered the water bottles and Maalox and milk to wash out their eyes. But if this crowd continues to balloon, particularly after what happened this morning, if things continue to balloon, will we see LMPD, will we see the National Guard increase or strengthen their tactics? We're not in the future making business. I'll tell you that all. So I don't know. I think we're, like I said, tonight seems like it's died down. We may still hear, we're keeping our ears open, smattering reports of pockets of protests that can still be going on. Like I said, Sarah Ladd's down there, 26th and Broadway, that can still be going on now. But the main bulk of that colonel, I'll refer to it as a stunt man, and everything. Right. So again, this is Philip Bailey, political reporter here at the political writer here at the Courier Journal.
cab with you can see
Women,
Absence carrying a gas mask in his hand.
women, you get behind a man. But hold on. Women, get behind a man. All of those cops. I'm not talking about the ones with the artillery. I'm talking about the cops that are just coming and talking shit. That's when every mother steps up. Because one thing is for sure, they will hold all caution when looking at all women. Remember that. I will stand in front of you if your goddamn pussy is scared. My language.
Shit, they just hit the siren.
Real talk. Alright, so real quick, y'all. The nurses station is probably gonna be over there in that area. So like if you have it, we're gonna be in that area. I'm trying to get a specific area. Y'all gonna be able to see him set up on the sidewalk. The other thing you need, they talked to the sheriff's department earlier. The sheriff's department said that the 10 o'clock curfew will not fuck with them being released. Like as far as people that need to come out of there. The sheriff's department also said, they didn't say that this was like, they making this statement, they were saying, I can't find a way that they would be mad if people were sitting out here waiting to take people home getting out of jail. Exactly. So what they told me to do was go wait in their parking lot. So in my head, I don't know about nobody else did, because again, I love all y'all. I ain't seen anybody go down tonight anytime. We can go over there to the parking lot and we can chill. Matter of fact, perfect. And if they got an issue with that, then we can stand.
Hang on, let's
go to the parking lot. Come to the parking lot and wait on our folks. I need everybody to know this. So, hold on. I need everybody to know this. We have money to bail you out. Not you. I give you my word. You can look me up. Get my license number. We have money to bail you out. Not only that, lawyers, you are okay. I give you my honest to God word. You can look me up. Come to court with me on the 16th. There's a reason why there's a bunch of lawyers standing there. Let me say this. Talk to him.
I got a couple of them too.
I do not want to put people in harm's way. This is your first time out here. Realize it's going to get real. So I'm telling you, you got 30 minutes to get back to your car or get home.
Seriously,
Stay out here with the car door with us.
For those who
Be
are
prepared to go to jail. Be prepared to get bruised. Be prepared to either have to have stitches. Be prepared to get hit with rubber bullets. So I don't want to put people in harm's way. I know you guys came that way with some other people, but we've been doing work all over the city for many years. So I want people to understand at 10 o'clock, it's going to get real out here. So I'm telling you.
Hey, everybody here, they born for this shit.
All right, so again, I say, man, I'm sure go away from the walking line. I know they got to be like 4
let me come buckle up.
Y'all want to organize, y'all want to get together, man, and y'all want to shut this shit down? We can do that. Y'all think we find me, find Antonio. There's a couple more people over there, man. Give y'all information. Y'all to get everything that we gonna have going on. Y'all gonna get y'all training in and come out here and act out. Damn. But it might be that night. I'm gonna down as strong as y'all. But at the end of the day, I say we go to the parking lot. If they come to the parking lot, we can decide here how we want to play this. But if they say we can have that parking lot, let's take our parking lot.
I think this is Buckner. Is this Buckner?
No, that's not Buckner.
Sir, let me ask you,
This is Sam Harden.
I don't think it needs to be said why you're out here postured, but go ahead and tell the audience why you're out here armed to the teeth in front of your store.
Protecting my store. Protecting my life.
Are you worried about the vandalism that has taken place?
Yeah, of course. I worked hard for this. Nobody did anything about it.
Have there been any efforts to break in your store, vandalize it?
I was surrounded by 900 fucking people at one point.
Not today?
No, not today.
Previously?
It was Friday.
And did police help, or were they preoccupied?
They were too busy, and I feel bad for them.
A lot of other businesses I've noticed have boarded up. Why didn't you just board up?
because I'm here. I don't need it.
Let me ask you this as a final question.
It's not gonna do me any good anyway. When they want to set anything on fire, they're gonna set it on fire, and it's easier to set wood on fire.
Do you have a position one way or the other on these protests, or are you more in the position of, look, this is my business, I'm protecting it, I don't care what your cause is? Go ahead. You need some help up? Okay, there's a lot of heavy stuff on there.
Yeah, kind of.
Right?
Look, I've been here for 5 days. All right? I am not against protesting, peaceful protesting. I'm all for it. It's your constitutional right, period. But going after businesses, going after people, destroying somebody's life for stupidity,
No matter what the cause is.
that's not a good thing. And it's not
Today was the largest protest I had seen. Folks who were tear gas told us earlier they still intend to come out. How much longer can you do this, and how much business are you losing by the fact that you're in downtown and there seems to be perpetual protests all the time?
I've been losing a lot since the corona started till now.
Yeah, even before this.
It's a whole different level. So,
are you hoping that I didn't see your dog? Oh, don't catch my dog fetish on here. Are you hoping that there will be a resolution of some kind so we can get back to business as usual? As far as the police protests, as far as people's concerns about the shootings that have taken place?
really, if they want to really protest, in my opinion, protest in the right way, but not by looting.
You say tonight was a good example of that? There wasn't any looting or...
So far, nothing happened. So far. But this is the right time when...
The night is young for you.
When those roaches, they will come out and destroy everything. This is the right time for it. And you want my opinion? Look, man. This whole issue about race need to be done, ended, period. This whole thing about, oh, police are bad, blah, 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 blah. All of them are bad. We're not denying the fact that there's some bad apples.
You think the Breonna Taylor shooting was an example of bad apples?
Had they finished with the investigation?
I couldn't hear you over the helicopter.
Did they finish the investigation yet?
The investigation into her shooting? No.
We cannot judge it. You cannot judge a book by its cover.
The facts that you know thus far about the case, about the use of no-knock warrants, are you okay with that? Do you think the no-knock warrant should be stopped? Or do you think that's something that we should be allowed to do?
Because I know from people that I know, they had a legit search warrant.
Because Tom Wine, the Commonwealth's attorney here in Jefferson County, he said in his most recent press conference that no amount of drugs is worth a human life. Should we be knocking down people's doors to get drugs?
I thought drugs are actually destroying lives.
That's what he said.
Hold on a second.
That's what top prosecutors
It's
said.
politic. Now, if you want to get on the politics side of this shit, or this shit show, that's a whole different level. Look,
You intend to be out here no matter how long it takes. Even if it's 5 more days, 5 more weeks.
if it takes 5 more years, I've been here for 5 days. Absolutely. They actually keep checking on me every hour.
Sir, it's good talking to you. As always, man. Be safe out here.
But let me say something.
And it looks like you got plenty to be safe. I mean, you have a magnet on here too, a can opener? Okay.
You've already changed the subject. If I was the mayor of Louisville, I would walk straight to jail to have them arrest me.
Police?
I would have the jail arrest me for treason. Period.
You think the mayor's committed treason? Gotcha.
If I was the mayor, because look, political correctness in this country is destroying it.
So you can't count on your vote in the next 4 years?
Absolutely. I would not vote for his ass. That's where
You can't run again anyway. Well, good, sir. Good speaking to you.
And the governor.
Good luck with you. And if you have a stapler, please let me know. You have a lot of stuff on there, but you got a lot of 6th and Jefferson. Much of the crowd is now beginning to dissipate, but there still is a strong group that is standing at the same line with the approaching SWAT. Some people are throwing water bottles. I've seen 1 or 2 people throwing water bottles, but they're beginning to recess. Another flashbang, more flashbangs going off. That might be tear gas there. That's definitely tear gas. All right. That's definitely tear gas. So I'd suggest people cover their eyes. There's efforts to try to extinguish some of it. You see demonstrators trying to extinguish the tear gas canisters, but they're still being deployed. Still being deployed pretty consecutively. And now that is definitely rubber pellets being deployed, being shot here. So we're gonna keep our press credentials prominent, but we have seen as of late National Guard, police, etc. use some of this force against the media. Now this is a heavy dose of tear gas. A heavy dose of tear gas coming through. Like a fog, like an invading fog. Yep, we definitely are. Things. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. Woo! Woo, baby. That's better than a shot of bourbon, I'll tell you that. Woo! Woo! Yeah. So that was again, King Louis here has been defaced. Definitely doused in orange. Right here. Woo! Ooh! Ooh! Man, that burns. Ooh, we got to get out of here. Woo! Woo! Well, if the goal was to disperse the crowd, that has certainly worked. Still firing. Tear gas, which is a chemical weapon. Stay with you as long as we possibly can here. That has wiped out this crowd significantly. They are Strong are deployed in our city. That's one of them. And tear gas is certainly an effective way of, walking through another wave of that. Yeah, that was the goal. It worked. Why do you think that they,
I think it was because of the other rioters. They just assumed they put us all together as one. We're not. There are people out there doing things that they shouldn't be doing, but me, I'm here, and everybody I've talked to is here for a peaceful protest to make a change. So
and your name and your title?
My name is Marissa. I'm a musician. So, and this is my fiance, Abe. He is a mixed race, so it's something that holds dear to us. No, if they would have just said stand back.
People with water bottles? Why?
Yeah.
But you know what? I'll be back. My dad grew up in the United States in the 1960s, being a Puerto Rican, moving to the United States. He went through all this shit.
You think that the protests will continue to grow?
Absolutely.
Yes. I think more people will start to see, but the only thing they show on the TVs is them tear gassing us or one graffiti place. That's not what was happening here today. I marched all the way to 26th and back because that's what I believe is what we should be doing.
What do you think should happen with the Breonna Taylor shooting and now Mr. Dave McAtee? What should happen?
They should be prosecuted, the ones responsible, all the way up. Everybody.
Taylor's boyfriend should be released.
Charges against him have been dismissed. They have been dismissed.
We haven't been here, so we didn't know.
I've got a dead phone. It's in the car like 2 blocks away.
Kenneth Walker, sir. They've been dismissed. So you all believe that these protests will grow and continue?
I think in smaller cities now. I think maybe the town I grew up in where there was only a few African American men. I see people growing up though, and they're going to get angry. They're going to have friends. We all have friends. All races are waking up and saying enough is enough.
What do you say to those who are concerned? There is a contingency out there in this community who are concerned about looting and violence against property. What do you say to them when they say, look, this has gone too far, we saw the smashed up windows downtown? What do you say to those folks?
I say that I don't actually see that happening down here very often. I see more police in the media controlling it and putting it. That's not what's happening.
Don't punish the deeds of many for the mistakes of few. The people that have done that should actually be called out between the people in the protest also.
I did see a lot of individuals, when folks were trying to vandalize, stop them. So you even though you've been tear gassed, is this your first time being tear gassed?
Yes, actually.
So even though you've been tear gassed, you intend to come back out?
Absolutely.
Always. Until something changes. No peace, no justice.
Thank you very much, you all.
Thank you
very much. Well, again, I think here at 6th and Jefferson, tear gas is not fun. I'll tell you that. I mean, I don't care how much pepper you like on your steak. You don't want that. But it goes away. And as these folks are saying, they will continue to be out here. We saw the largest protest today of any of the protests, and there still are questions about the Breonna Taylor shooting, about Mr. Dave McAtee's shooting that have not been answered. Why were police using a no-knock warrant against Breonna Taylor when they were looking for bail? Why were the National Guard and others at 26th and Broadway yesterday? A lot of questions need to be answered. A lot of demands are still out there, both on the mayor and even the governor. But clearly there was a little more lax, at least in the beginning. But tonight ended very much in the same way the other nights ended, which is there was eventually a tired attitude
from the police and National Guard, and they decided to deploy tear gas and other tactics to disperse the crowd. We did not see any, I did not see any acts of violence or destruction of property, but they were here beyond the curfew. As you see, there still are SWAT lined up, pushing people out. You have they're now shooting rubber bullets. They're now shooting rubber bullets. So again, shooting rubber bullets indiscriminately, not necessarily choosing between activists and the press. That fits in line with what we've seen these past few days. Yeah. Yeah. So again, So again, we, not necessarily sure what specific act engendered or created the response from SWAT, but certainly something occurred, or maybe it was just the violation of the curfew. So we shall see what happens next, but I think, the SWAT certainly did an effective job of dispersing the crowd, but again, the crowd was occupying Jefferson Square, certainly was occupying Jefferson Square, but there wasn't necessarily any vandalism or destruction that we had seen. That doesn't mean that there wasn't any. But again, the largest protest you certainly have seen of the 4 nights that protests have occurred. We're now at 5th and Liberty, so about a block over. More canisters seem to be flying now. And you still have a smattering group of activists and protesters out here. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, they're shooting from the roof. Okay, let's move. Okay, so they're deploying chemical weapons and shooting from the rooftops of Metro Safe. Whatever they can do at this point to disperse the crowd. Whatever they can do to disperse the crowd. That canister of pepper spray, of tear gas, hit that one guy right on the shoulder, right upside the head. While these folks might be making a valiant effort, maybe it's just a battle at this point. But as we heard, there are people who have endured. I got metal crutches out here. That's how dedicated some people are. Man can't even walk fully out here. Another canister. And again, people who have been pepper sprayed, hit with rubber bullets today, telling us at the Courier-Journal that they intend to return. So if this is going to continue, the question is, where does the valve let out? What are the necessary steps that could quell some of this? And if you talk to the people out here in the streets, they'll make it pretty clear. The firing, the charging, and the arrest of these officers, the questions about the body cam footage or lack thereof, those questions don't go away with the deployment of tear gas. In fact, one would argue that maybe those questions are even enhanced. Because now there seems to be almost both
sides sort of increasing the other. Because we've seen over these past 4 days the crowd size increasing, not decreasing. The tactics by police of deploying tear gas and curfews, pepper spray, flashbangs has not decreased their energy. If anything, it's increased.
Brutality has again splitters.
It's like SWAT police stop it there.
Later in the evening.
Less now.
We have 35 minutes until curfew. Ernie Anston right here is addressing the group.
Heavy LMPD contingent there at, what is that, 4th and Jefferson. So, again, there are activists were sort of moving out, moving away. And it'll also be interesting to see if activists up their game. You know, there was an attempt to use leaf blowers, which you saw used in Hong Kong protests. China to push back any tear gas. I saw some folks here with umbrellas today. Certainly they've mastered the water bottles and Maylocks and milk to wash out their eyes. But if this crowd continues to balloon, particularly after what happened this morning, which I'm right here, if things continue to balloon, will we see LMPD? We see the National Guard increase or strengthen their tactics. We're not in the future making business. I'll tell you that all. So I don't know. I think we're, like I said, tonight seems like it's died down. We may still hear. We're keeping our ears open. Spattering reports of pockets of protests that can still be going. Like I said, Sarah Ladd's down there. 26th and Broadway, that can still be going on now. But the main bulk of that colonel, was stuntman, bumping and everything. Right. So again, this is Philip Bailey, political reporter here at the political writer here at the Courier Journal. I want to sign off real fast, but certainly keep you informed on what's going on here in downtown Oakland.
absence carrying a gas mask in his hand.
Women, you get behind a man. But hold on. Women, get behind a man. All of those cops. I'm not talking about the ones with the auxiliaries. I'm talking about the cops that are just coming and talking shit. That's when every punk steps up. Because one thing is for sure, they will hold all of when looking at all women. Remember that. I will stand in front of you and your goddamn pussy is scared. My language.
They just hit the siren.
Real talk. All right, so real quick, y'all. Nurses basically around the go be over there in that area. I'm trying to get a specific area. Y'all don't get stand over on the sidewalk. Other thing, they talked to the sheriff's department earlier. The sheriff's department said, man, the 10 o'clock curfew will not fuck with them areas. Like the ball said, you come out there. The sheriff's department also said, they didn't say that this was like, they making this statement, they were saying, I can't find a way that they would be mad if people were sitting out here waiting to take people home and get out of jail. Exactly. So what they told me to do was to wait their farm. So in my head, I don't know about nobody else here, just me, I love all y'all. I ain't seen anybody go down like we can know that they're wrong about we can see it. That's like perfect. And if they got an issue with that, then we can say, hang on, let's get into it. Go to the bar cut. Come to the bar cut away from that boat. I need everybody to know this. So I need everybody to know this. We have money to bail you out. Not you. I give you my word. You look me up. I get my wife and stuff. We have money to bail you out. Not only that, lawyers, you are okay. I give you my honest to God word. You can look me up, come to court with me on the 16th. There's a reason why there's one lawyer there. Let me say this. Talk to me. I got a couple of them. Oh, wow. I do not want to put people in harm's way. The first time out here, realize it's going to get real.
Seriously,
Stay out here.
those who
Be
are
prepared to go to jail. Be prepared to be brutal. Be prepared to either have to have stitches. Be prepared to get hit with rubber bullets. So, I don't want to put people in harm's way. I know you guys came that way with some other people. But we've been leading doing work all over this city for many years. So I want people to understand at 10 o'clock, it's going to get real out here. So I'm telling you.
Hey, everybody here, they going for this shit.
All right, so again, I say, man, I see it. You go wait for more than I think. I know they got to be like,
buckle up.
y'all want to organize, y'all want to get together, man, y'all want to shut this shit down, you can do that. Y'all make this man be find Antonio, there's a couple more people over there, man, y'all give y'all information, y'all get everything that we gonna have going on. Y'all be training in to learn this exercise. Damn! Might get in that night. I won't have to keep on y'all. But at the end of the day, I said we go to the parking lot. If they come to the parking lot, we can decide here how we want to play it. But if they say we can have that parking lot, take my parking lot.
I think this is Buckner.
No, that's not like that.
Sir, let me ask you,
This is Sam Harden.
I don't think it needs to be said while you're out here postured, but go ahead and tell the audience why you're out here armed to the teeth in front of your store.
My life.
Are you worried about the vandalism that has taken place?
Yeah, of course. I worked hard for this. Nobody did anything about it.
Have there been any efforts to break in your store, vandalize it?
I was surrounded by 900 fucking people at one point.
Sometime today?
No, not today.
Previously?
It was Friday.
And did police help, or were they preoccupied?
They were too busy. And I feel bad for them.
A lot of other businesses I've noticed have boarded up. Why didn't you just board up?
Because I'm here. I don't need it.
Let me me ask you this as a final question.
It's not going to do me any good anyway. When they want to set anything on fire, they're going to set it on fire. And it's easier to set wood on fire.
Do you have a position one way or the other on these protests, or are you more in the position of, look, this is my business, I'm protecting it, I don't care what your cause is? Go ahead. You need some help up? Okay, there's a lot of heavy stuff on there.
Yeah, I know. Right. Look, I've been here for 5 days. Alright? I am not against protesting. Peaceful protesting. I'm all for it. It's your constitutional right. Period. But going after businesses, going after people, destroying somebody's life for stupidity,
no matter what the cause is,
that's not a good thing. And it's not good.
Today was the largest protest I had seen. Folks who were tear gas told us earlier they still intend to come out. How much longer can you do this, and how much business are you losing by the fact that you're in downtown and there seems to be perpetual protests all the time?
I've been losing a lot since the corona started till now.
Even before this,
it's a whole different level. So,
are you hoping that I didn't see your dog? Oh, don't catch my dog. Are you hoping that there will be a resolution of some kind so we can get back to business as usual now?
Resolution for what?
As far as the police protests, as far as people's concerns about the shootings that have taken place?
Really, they want to really protest, in my opinion, protest in the right way, but not by looting.
You say tonight was a good example of that? There wasn't any looting or...
So far, nothing happened. So far. But this is the right time when...
The night is young for you.
When those roaches, they will come out and destroy everything. This is the right time for it. And you want my opinion? Look, man. This whole issue about race need to be done, ended, period. This whole thing about, oh, police are bad, blah, 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 blah. Not all of them are bad. We're not denying the fact that there's some bad apples.
You think the Breonna Taylor shooting was an example of bad apples?
Had they finished with the investigation?
I couldn't hear you over the helicopters.
Did they finish the investigation yet?
The investigation into her shooting? No.
We cannot judge it. You cannot judge a book by its cover.
So the facts that you know thus far about the case, about the use of no-knock warrants, are you okay with that? Do you think the no-knock warrants should be stopped, or do you think that's something that we should be allowed to continue?
As I know from people that I know, they had a legit search warrant.
Because Tom Wine, the Commonwealth's attorney here in Jefferson County, he said at his most recent press conference that no amount of drug money and no amount of drugs is worth a human life. Should we be knocking down people's doors to get drugs?
I thought drugs are actually destroying lives.
No, that's what he said.
Hold on a second.
That's what the top prosecutor said.
It's politic. Now, if you want to get on the politics side of this shit, or the shit show, that's a whole different level. Look,
you intend to be out here no matter how long it takes. Even if it's 5 more days, 5 more weeks.
If it takes 5 more years. I've been here for 5 days. Absolutely. They actually keep checking on me every hour.
So it was good talking to you. As always, man. Be safe out here.
Let me say something.
And it looks like you got plenty to be safe. I mean, you have a magnet on here too, a can opener? Okay.
Before you change the subject, if I was the mayor of Louisville, I would walk straight to jail to have them arrest me.
Police?
I would have the jail arrest me for treason. Period.
So you think the mayor has committed treason? Gotcha.
If I was the mayor, because look, political correctness in this country is destroyed.
So you can't count on your vote in the next 4 years?
Absolutely not. I would not vote for his ass. That's for
You can't run again anyway. Well, good, sir. Good speaking to you.
And the governor's
Good luck with you. And if you have a stapler, please let me know. You have a lot of stuff on there, man. You got a lot of... No. Oh, you're close. You're close. Good speaking to you, though. Good luck, though. Seriously. Keep your business safe. Look, as a native Louisvillian...
I grew up in Minneapolis and George Floyd, man.
As a native Louisvillian...
Welcome to D.C.
There will be say this reminds me of 68. And there may be some parallels in people's mind, but I think this is an unprecedented level of protesting. It's an unprecedented level of group of folks who are out. Clearly, we all have various different opinions and ways to handle those opinions, as you saw just down the street here. I mean, my man was dressed up like Bob, what was his name, Baghdad Bob? I mean, he was dressed up like Rambo to defend his business. And those people who have legitimate concerns. But the vast majority of folks who are protesting will tell you their chief concern remains what happened to Breonna Taylor and what happened to David McAtee. And I did notice that you did see a contingency of folks, activists, protesters, who are trying to keep others away from vandalizing businesses or government buildings. I can just tell you, as a native Louisvillian, this is not usual. Louisville is not known as a protest city, but that has clearly changed. I mean, I don't know what's happening in the rest of the country right now, but we had massive protests here tonight, and it looks like they're going to continue. And the question is for those in power, not those not in power, but those in power, what decisions are they going to make that will both quell and perhaps die down these protests, but also satisfy those across the political spectrum who have expressed legitimate concerns and outrage about what happened to Breonna Taylor and recently to David McAtee. I mean, so again, various different folks around here. Now downtown is completely a desert. It's empty. It's ghost town down here. But it may not be like that tomorrow. There hasn't been one activist or one young person who I bumped into today who says, I'm not coming back now. And tear gas and rubber bullets won't turn them away. What will? Perhaps there will come this week. You know, this was supposed to be the day of reflection. Mayor Fisher said this was supposed to be the day of reflection. I don't think there was a lot of reflecting going on. So the question for him and others is, what is going to be the resolution? Don't know that yet. Again, this is Philip Bailey, political writer here at the Courier-Journal. Thank you for joining us. We'll stay on top of this issue as long as we can. Thank you for watching.
Or are there more people that you're trying to release that were arrested before that?
Tonight, of course, required everyone that is part of the now, after tonight, we're letting them know we want everyone who is not in there for a violent crime to be out somewhere else. It is proven. Before last, they told me, multiple officers said, you have to wear this mask. There is COVID-19 in this building. They're being killed. We want everybody to come out of there. You are not there for a violent crime. We want everyone to come out of there. We can house them somewhere else. I understand, call them criminals if that's what they did, but you can't even call them a criminal because you're housing them before court. You can't call them a criminal yet. You cannot judge them as a criminal because you I know for a fact I was just charged with obstruction. We're guilty before proven innocent, and that's what that is. We have to give them their rights. We don't send them in there with a deadly virus. Let Trump say, Trump, we need you. Bless you. I will always love all who loves all. But if you hate anyone, and I do, anyone that is an American brother of mine, I don't have the same type of feeling. And I promise you, I am a very respectful man. I love Martin Luther King. He had a dream, but I say wake up and make that dream a reality. And I'll do it a different kind of way. At the same time, as long as you come peaceful, we'll be peaceful. We're not attacking, we're defending ourselves. Good luck, man. God bless.
Thank you for your time, Darren. This is Sam Hardiman with the Commercial Appeal part of the USA Today Network. You just heard from Darren Abston, one of the activists here. There is about a group of maybe more than 50 people outside of 201 Poplar, which in Shelby County, Tennessee, is where about 1,900 inmates are housed. He was saying that this group is here to secure the release of more than several dozen people that he says are still inside after being arrested last night after protests, and the police ordered them to disperse. This is the sixth night of protests against police brutality in Memphis. And there's a parking lot across the street. I'll turn to show you. This is the group behind me, and there's a 10 p.m. curfew. So right now we're about 12 minutes away from that, and so Abston says that the sheriff's department has assured them if they stay in this parking lot, they will not be interfered with, and we'll see what happens. We're going to stay here with you. See, the group is just quiet. There's no chanting. There's, just people milling about in a parking lot. We'll see, the exception to Mayor Strickland's curfew, according to the text of his executive order, and what he said today are essential workers due to COVID-19, as well as people with health emergencies. It's unclear if a group waiting to getting people out of 201 Poplar is going to fit that, and we'll see. I'm not certain what's going to happen. There may not be a confrontation. There may be. You can see right now there is not a heavy police presence. You can see cruisers at the end of the street, but there is not really any. So this is once again being repeated for bail support. This is for people who are locked up inside, who are incarcerated, who are arrested as part of this. You heard Darren Abston earlier. If you were with us, he was, concerned about the outbreak of COVID-19 in the jail. It's a substantial outbreak of COVID-19. More than 100 people have tested positive inside 201 Poplar. Those who have tested positive are not still all there. You can see that there's now police chopper overhead. That number has not made the rounds that much recently. Again, Abston's going over. Yeah. object is not a confrontation.
They said, of course, as long as we don't have a crazy crowd out here, they will let you already run out. At least they ain't doing it. So unless you work with them, add that on Facebook, I can assure you, we are coming right back out. Not tonight, but I can assure you that. One thing is for sure, we are not going to hurt our own cause. I'm sorry, I'm sleeping right now.
Please hear me when I say we are the people inside of the jail that are
Everyone, hold on. Stay with us here. Max Garland's going to hold the beat.
If they're not here to offer their support, they're not home safely. Please, go somewhere, but it's not here. Anywhere, I don't care. It's not here. Y'all, they serve you. I don't care. Right now, tonight, from tonight, you gotta get them out of jail, away from COVID, taken care of.
Oh, that's nothing. If you want to go to the bridge, you go to the bridge right now. To the bridge right now. You go there right now. Right now, that's the
Darren, how do you spell your name, man? How do you spell your name?
Totally got it.
ABS.
I should have about a video mention. Alien and
It is rolling. So, thank you, Darren. Appreciate it.
Is that your car?
Is there a group of people at the bridge right now?
Yes. Okay.
If they don't want to be support, please, we're asking you to leave. They will not let them out until they're come on.
Yeah, we're going to walk to the innocent bridge.
Because in 5 minutes, who knows what's up with the cop. They're not gonna.
We're leaving to Unpopular. There's a group.
They're not gonna be like, oh right.
Someone texted.
Pull up on our downstairs face, would you? So you hear people telling people to leave, those that are here to pick up people out of 201 Poplar. If you're not here for that, they're telling you to leave. We're going to leave. We hear there's a disturbance out on the Hernando de Soto Bridge. So we're going to walk this way. It is about 5 minutes to 10 o'clock. It's curfew. And so we're walking down Poplar Avenue in Memphis. Some of my colleagues with me. You can hear our little back chat here. Oh, is that his name? Okay, I thought he said Brian. The first time. He's transformed from So guys, we're walking down Poplar Avenue. We're gonna see what's happening at the Hernando de Soto Bridge. There's allegedly still a disturbance there. traffic going through it from what I saw all night.
We just drove over it like 45 minutes ago.
Yeah. Again?
Actually.
So I don't know if there's a disturbance on the bridge. We hear that. We've been told that. Joe Rondoni. Joe, you just drove over the bridge like 45 minutes ago?
Yeah.
So what's going on with the traffic? Okay.
There was a few people with their hazards on the last few starters, but that pretty much is over.
Okay. So one of the planned protests tonight was a slowdown on the I-40 bridge. This was at the march. We were trying to walk there last night, and that was when tear gas was deployed on the protest. But now it is it's about 2 minutes to 10. And so I'm Sam Hardiman with the Commercial Appeal. The streets are pretty much empty. We're going to see what happens as curfew comes in Memphis. Journalists are among the essential workers. They're allowed to be out after curfew. We're sticking together. We're wearing helmets and glasses just because of tear gas last night. But we don't expect any trouble at this point. We're going to continue walking back to where our cars were, and we're going to check on the Hernando de Soto Bridge. So if you want to stay with us, please do. I'm going to go check out Riverside and see what's going on.
But also we're
I don't want to be the only person out because I'm all of a sudden become a protester. I get them on the side of the street.
Police chopper overhead. I don't know if anyone is still out. You can see there's a police presence in front of us. They're still with us here in Memphis. Just getting across the street, it was a little... I just kind of jaywalked a little bit. I apologize. It kind of was stuck between a rock and a hard crosswalk there. What time is it? It is just about 10 o'clock. So we are at curfew. I'm going to drop back with my colleagues here. You can see there's a police presence in front of us. We're going to take you around on curfew to see what's happening. To our cars here. We're on Poplar Avenue. Live streaming there, some Tennessee State Troopers. This has been a subdued protest night. You can see a heavy law enforcement presence up there.